I'm going to do some makeup with you all. So I hope you like it. So guys, please bear with me because I'm still pretty new at this. So I'm going to start off with my Bioterm, and I'm just going to remove the makeup which I had on from the night previously. I always have to remove my makeup from the night before because I never really completely take it off, so this Bioterm, I must tell you guys, it is so good. It doesn't leave this oily resin afterwards, which I don't like. Some people like it. I mean it's good to use if you have like a really thick lipstick on, and then or you have like a smoky eye that's really really thick on, or applied really thick on, and you can't get it off with like a normal wipe, makeup removal wipe, then the oily based remover is the best. But basically I like this because it's almost looks like water actually, but it is great. I mean, it's quite expensive, but it's well worth it. I mean, here in Europe or in Germany, I pay like close to 30 euro. Or no, did I buy it for 30 euro? No, I bought this in Spain for Fuerteventura. I paid 24 euro. So that's not too bad for makeup removal. But it's definitely worth it. I think in Germany, I pay like close to 30 euro, but it's great. So like I said, I'm gonna remove the rest of my makeup. And now I'm gonna do my eyebrows, and I'm a big Benefit fan, so I got my Brow Vow conditioning, or the Bravo, how would you say, Brow Vow or Bravo conditioning primer, and I have my Precisely My Brow pencil. So I use this pencil for getting the form, or lining up the form, drawing out the form for my eyebrow. I don't have that many eyebrows. I don't have that much eyebrows. When I was younger, my eyebrows were super thick. But as you get older, you start to lose hair. So, anywho, with today's makeup industry, you can cover up everything. You can improvise. And there's just so much you can do with makeup to give you that look that you're trying to get. Okay, so yeah, like I said, I'm gonna draw out my eyebrow. So this is the form I like to have, or I like my eyebrows quite thick looking. I don't like them so thin. Back in the day, I used to wear them thin, but now I like them thick. And of course, then they have the new trend where you kind of wear the natural look for your eyebrows, but I don't care so much for that. I feel like a wolf man. Or for like a wolf lady. Looks a little bit too wild, but not all trends are for everybody. So that's my eyebrow. So everybody, what we gonna talk about today? I'm gonna talk about the movie I saw yesterday. Oh, it was a really good movie. I love movies. I don't know how you all are, but I love going to the movies. But unfortunately, due to the COVID, we have to stay home. So, no worries, no big deal. We can manage. You can put on the Netflix or put on your Prime Time from Amazon and rent or buy a movie. But anyway, I was watching regular TV and the movie came on. What was that movie called? It was with Johnny Depp. It was a really cool movie. I'm like a huge horror fan, guys. So I don't know. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, you like horror movies?" But yes, I do. I love myself some horror movies, and so this was a movie. I guess it came out in early 2000. What was the name of that movie? I think it was Jack the Ripper. I don't know if that was the exact title, but basically Johnny Depp plays a detective, and it took place. Oh gosh, I don't know. I would say the early. I don't know when did that happen with Jack the Ripper. I don't even know, but I guess judging from the clothes, it looked like it was early 1900s. I would suppose, or no, not even 1900s. No, maybe 1800s. Oh gosh, please forgive me. As you see, I did not get an A in history or one in history. I'm not the biggest history fan, but I mean, I like history, but I'm not that good in history. That was really cool. Yeah, so basically, Johnny Depp plays this. He plays a detective, and of course, he's after Jack the Ripper. But oh my gosh, that movie was so creepy. If you guys get a chance, take a look at it. It's really good. Unfortunately, at the end of the movie, Johnny Depp dies because he's like I mean, he's a really good detective, but he's also like addicted to opium, and he would hang out in the opium house, and I mean, I guess that was like the crack houses back in the days. I don't know, but yeah, that movie was really creepy. So that came on last night. And then, I don't know, for some reason it always seems like the best movies come on late at night. Especially the horror movies. But I like Johnny Depp. I think he's a really cool actor. He was actually cute when back in the days. I don't know what happened now. But he didn't age so well. He kind of got old and mean, I think. But anywho, I saw him also in another movie where he was a writer. I think that movie also came out in the early 2000s. He was a writer, and he was living, I believe it was him and his girlfriend. They were living in some log cabin out in the woods. And I don't know, he was quite obsessive with his writing, and then I don't know, I recall he got really into character, and that was also a really creepy movie because I believe, how did that movie go? As he was writing, think what he was writing, the characters, he got so into the character, he became the character that he was writing about. I believe that's what it was. However, he became so creepy and so so weird that his girlfriend was like pretty much done with him and didn't want to have anything to do with him. So she wanted to try to escape, but in the meantime, he was also a bit obsessed with her. And I don't know, guys, if you know this movie, please write the description, or please write down in the comments what the name of that movie was. I could be telling it wrong, but he became obsessed with his girlfriend, and they lived in like this really small town. But like I said, the house was up in the woods. He lived in this like small town, and you know, his neighbors also thought he was creepy. His behavior was just like off. They knew something was wrong with him. And then, yes, there were some people that were, people would disappear. They would come around to the house, and then Johnny Depp would get into another character or role. I believe that's how it went. And then certain people in the town would pop up missing. So, you know, the fact that he was so weird acting, a lot of people in the town suspected that it was him. And so, and then there was this detective who would come around, or I don't know if he wasn't a detective. He was like a police officer. And he also kind of found him to be weird. Oh, gosh, what was the name of that movie? That was good, though. However, because his girlfriend wanted to like slowly like get up out of there, she kind of caught on that, or he kind of caught on that, that she wanted to leave. So, what happened? Yeah, then and he also found out because, she had also started a new relationship. Yeah, that's what it was. She started a new relationship with a new guy. Was it like that? Yeah, and then I think she moved out. Yeah, she moved out of the house, or somehow was able to get away from the house. And then, of course, that really sent Johnny Depp into like this craze mode. He became even more creepier because he was up in this house and he was basically starting to go crazy. Right. And his girlfriend, right, she had started a new affair, and then he wanted her to, she had moved out. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she had moved out, and she had started a new affair, but she still kept contact with Johnny Depp because she was worried about him because of the fact that he was just crazy, becoming more every day by day crazier. And so one time he had told her to come up to the cabin. I'm not sure she went there with her boyfriend, but then he attacked her and then buried her alive. I believe that's how it went. Oh, it was a wild movie. Like I said, I saw that movie years ago. I don't remember the name of the movie, so if you guys know, then leave a comment and let me know, because I wouldn't mind watching that again. That was really good. What else? Yes, I love horror movies, but lately there hasn't been any really good horror movies out. Last year, 2020, I watched was it The Invisible Man? Yeah, I think that was good. That was the last movie that was coming out in the movie theaters, and then somehow due to the COVID, it didn't make it. I mean, didn't really make it into the movie theater, so you had the possibility of renting it or buying the movie or renting it. So we rented the movie. I think it was called The Invisible Man, and that was really good. That was with this one actress who played in Mad Men. Was it Mad Men? Yeah. And she was, which role did she play? She was the secretary to Mr. Cutie. I can't even think of that guy's name. You know, the main character in was it Mad Men? Yeah. She was a secretary, and then from this guy, and then later on she kind of branched out and did her own thing and was reporting. But however, she played in this Invisible Man. I think the movie was called Invisible Man. Basically it started off that she was escaping. I believe she was escaping. Guys, y'all have to forgive me. Sometimes I've watched so many movies, and somehow I don't know, I gotta recall what happened. But she was escaping, or yeah, she was leaving this really beautiful house that was on the sea. I mean, the house was dope. And she was escaping. She was frantically trying to get up out of there. I believe that's what it was, how it started. And she wound up going to a friend's house and hiding out at the friend's house. And what happened? She went to the friend's house. What happened? Basically, she was in an abusive relationship, and so she was trying to get away from her husband. And her husband was like this famous. He wasn't famous, but he was extremely smart, and he had created this. He had created this. He had done all types of different creations, and that's what happened. When she moved out, she started noticing, she had moved in with her best friend because, like I said, she was trying to get away from this guy. He was a total narcissist, but extremely successful and had a lot of money. Yeah, so she started noticing like really weird things that were happening in her daily life. Like she would place things, she would misplace things and didn't know how it got misplaced. And then it came to the point that, what was it? I think, what was it? Just like really weird things were happening. And then the place where she was staying, with the guy she was staying with, her best friend, he had a daughter, right? He had a daughter. And she was like really good friends with the daughter, and oh gosh, what happened? Oh, guys, forgive me. Just check out the movie. It's really good. Somehow everybody thought she was crazy because they're like, how could this be happening? They thought she was crazy because she could not figure out, how these weird things happen, and, things would be moving. And then her best friend, daughter had gotten beaten up really bad. She was at home. The girl was at home. And then, she got beaten up really bad. And then her best friend came around, and then, how was it? The girl got beaten up, but it wasn't from this lady. It was from something else. But when the father came home, the lady's best friend, when he came home, happened? What happened? When he came home, right, he had caught, the girl he heard his daughter screaming, and the lady who was abused also was in the room with the girl and noticed, okay, this is something really weird. And then somehow the father thought that that his friend had beat up his daughter, and then the daughter also thought that, that this lady had beaten her up because she couldn't really see what was going on. I mean, she was being thrown around across the room, all types of crazy mess. But however, it's a must see. I'm terrible at telling stories, guys, so please forgive me. The movie's called Invisible Man, so check it out. It's really good. That came out last year. It was the end of year 2019, and I think it was released in 2020. I believe that's what it was. So I'm gonna, oh, wait a second. So I used my MAC Strobe Cream. I just put that around my face, over my face, on my face. That I use it as a base. I use it every day. Adds a nice glow effect. So I'm looking for a brush. I thought I put out all my brushes, so I wouldn't have to look. Here it is. This is my 195 brush, and I use that to put on my Huda Beauty concealer. I use it as a base for my eyeshadows. So, just take a little bit. What's another movie? I'm not gonna bother telling the story. I'm just gonna go down a list of the movies that I consider really good and scary. If you all are horror fans, like I guess an old classic is The Exorcist. That's a really good horror movie that came out in the 70s. And it's about a girl who's possessed. Gets possessed by the devil, by the way. It's a classic. It came out in the 70s. What's so erotic about that movie, because it came out in the 70s, people were like amazed because due to the how do you call it, how it was filmed. It was like, oh my gosh, how were they able to do all the tricks and graphics? I mean, there weren't really graphics back then, but I mean, how were they able to, get the little girl's head to turn around? And this was like in the 70s. So it's like, oh, wow. I mean, I personally think some of the best movies came out in the 70s. I know you guys like the 70s, but they really had some creepy movies back in those days, during that time. I remember another movie that came out called The Frogs. That was really creepy. I think that movie, was it done in... No, I don't think it was done in England. No. But it also came out in the 70s. The Frogs. Or The Omen. The Omen came out. That I think that was a British movie. But that was a horror movie. That was extremely creepy. The Omen is about this... it was about the Antichrist, exactly. And once again, it came out in the 70s, but somehow it was just creepy. It was really creepy. Even the music, and it just seemed so weird, real. Another good one is Amityville. Amityville Horror. That's a classic. I mean, they've had so many, like, They made so many sequels to that movie, Amityville. I believe that came out in the late 70s, and I think they're like 6 or 7 Amityvilles afterwards. They even redone that movie, or remade it, actually. But I personally, I don't know. I'm kind of funny. I don't really like when movies are redone. I kind of like them in their original. I can't think of one movie where I can say, oh my gosh, it was redone and it was done well. Even that movie Poltergeist, I mean, I've seen that movie about 1 billion times, but I still like the original. They remade the Poltergeist. When was it? Also in 2000. I think it came out in 2010, and it just was not the same. Wasn't the same. I think the first one is the best from Poltergeist. What's another one? Oh yeah, and this one actress, her name is Karen Black. Oh my gosh, she was like in all the creepy movies back in the 70s. She was like the creepy woman. She was kind of like, what's that guy's name? What's his name? He was like king of the creepy movies back in the 50s, 40s. Something with Vince. Can't think of his full name, but she was kind of like on his level, but she was in all the horror movies back in the 70s. Next time I'm going to get a list, and then I'm going to be able to tell you the names of these movies, because sometimes I forget the names. But however, they're definitely impressionable. Another classic is Friday the 13th. I don't know, I would say the original Friday the 13th is the best. What came afterwards, it was just like, it was old and just like a slasher movie. I don't know. I think the best one is number 1, the first one. Oh, and like decades ago, I saw this really, it was also a creepy movie. It started off kind of cheesy. It's called Summer Camp. And that movie came out, I would say late 80s, perhaps. But it is so creepy. It's about this little girl. And I don't want to tell you too much because the ending is shocking. But it takes place in a summer camp, and it's about this little girl who's being bullied because she's just so different and so quiet and so shy. But at the end, it's a true shocker. So, I mean, like I said, if you're into horror movies, check out that movie. I mean, it starts off kind of cheesy. You probably think, oh, no, this is too cheesy. I can't do it. But if you watch it, I mean, it's also a bit of a slasher movie, but the ending is very, very shocking. I mean, you're going to be like, oh, what? I did not know this was going to happen like that. So check it out. Summer Camp, it's called. I remember that very well. Another good classic came out in the 70s. Is Carrie. Carrie came out in the 70s. That was also creepy. I mean, Stephen King, I mean, he was just amazing as far as, I mean, coming out with really, just movies where your skin would crawl. I would say later on he kind of died down. I don't know, his movies became too mainstream, I think, and then, I don't know, the horror effect just wasn't there. Oh, by the way, I'm using MAC Pro Long Concealer in the color NC45. So this is also a concealer, and I put that up under my eyes. Yeah, Carrie's a classic. Carrie was also remade. It's about this young girl who's going to the high school, and she's basically bullied um, because she's just quiet, and people just, saw that she's kind of different and really old school style. So people, her classmates always made fun of her. And at home, she was being abused by her mother. Her mom was extremely religious and used to have her pray in the night. And her mom was just a psychopath. But the special thing about Carrie is Carrie had special powers, and her mom knew it. So when she got mad at Carrie, she used to lock her into the closet. And no, it's a must see. It's definitely a must see. So check it out. What's another movie? Oh, a really good one is The Shining with Jack Nicholson. Oh, I love that movie. I mean, that is just a classic. I mean, even how it starts off. I mean, that movie also came out in the late 70s. But just how it starts off, I mean, the way it was filmed, beautiful. I mean, the house is up in the mountains, I believe, somewhere in northern, one of the states up in New York, not New York, in America. I think it was Montana or something, where it was filmed. But how it starts off, the car is driving, and the way they shot the car driving was just incredible. I mean, for that time in the 70s. But basically, The Shining is about a guy. He gets this job in a hotel up in the mountains. I mean, it is way out in the mountains, and he gets this job as a janitor or a caretaker for the hotel. And basically, the hotel is a seasonal hotel, so it shuts down during the winter season. And so he gets this job, but he's also warned that, that most people who've worked there basically went crazy. But, so the guy was a little bit, I guess, skeptic, because, he's just like, you sure you want to have this job, I guess, because, the people most people who were here went crazy. I think that's how it went, yeah. So basically, this guy moves in the hotel with his family. He has a wife and young kid, and they move into this hotel, and this hotel is haunted. So, like, really a lot of creepy things are happening in the hotel, and in the meantime, Jack Nicholson, I don't remember the character's name, he's like basically daily going crazy. And there's scenes where he's sitting up there and he's typing, and he's like also extremely abusive towards his wife. His wife is so sweet, and he's always telling his wife that he's working, and he's sitting there working on a book, exactly. And then later it's found out that, he wasn't really, he was working on a book, but he was writing the same line over and over and over again. I mean, it was like, I don't know, 1,000 pages of the same thing when he wrote. But either way, it's a classic, definitely a must-see. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Studio Fix Fluid SP15, and this is also in the color NC45. This is my foundation. So another good classic is yes, Halloween, a very good classic with Michael Myers. Who can't love Michael Myers? Yeah, he is a killer. And every Halloween, he goes on a killing spree. I think that movie came out also in the 70s, or maybe late 70s, early 80s. Also it's a very good movie. It's a classic. I mean, I personally think, you know, it's just like Halloween. It's just like Friday the 13th. It's like tons of sequels. I think there's like, I don't know, 10 different Halloween sequels. After a while it gets old, but to me the best is the first one. Just alone the music, it's classic, and that mask is creepy. Yeah, it did come out in the 70s. Yes, it did, because the clothing was totally 70s. Yeah, it's another one of those. It's a movie kind of like Friday the 13th. You know, one of those splash killer movies, but good. Anything after Halloween, from the first one, the second, the third, fourth, fifth, it's just not so good. Another good one that came out, but this movie came out in the 90s, is Nightmare on Elm Street. That was a good one. But again, you know, it had so many sequels that after a while, it was just like, okay, this is old. I'm done. But the first one was good. Yes, Nightmare on Elm Street. That was a good one. I mean, again, like I said, the sequels to Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, after a while, it just gets kind of old and lame. Yeah, Freddy Krueger, he was a classic. And I think that was the very first horror movie that Johnny Depp played in. Exactly. I mean, he had a really short role, and his character died out really quick, but I think that was one of his first horror movies that he'd ever done. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so I blend it out. By the way, I'm using my beauty blender sponge. I can highly recommend these guys. They're really good. They get the job done, and you can use them for a long time as well. I mean, I had this for 6 months. Of course, you should wash them out, clean them out from time to time, but they're really good. So what else? What other movie do I like to watch? Oh, getting back to this one other movie, Amityville Horror. That movie, they also had a lot of different sequels, like I said, and they even remade it a few times. But that one wasn't so bad. I would say the first one and the second one and the third one. The third one was really good. After that, then it's like, not that great. But the third one was really creepy, I thought. When the son went on a killing spree, a new family moved into the house, and the son got possessed by the devil, and he went on a killing spree. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I got another good one. That's an ultimate classic, and that is The Evil Dead. Oh my gosh, do we have any Evil Dead fans out there? Oh my gosh, that one was the bomb. That one was really creepy. I mean, that movie also came out, I guess, in 70s or 80s, maybe mid 80s. I want to look up the dates from these movies. that came out in, yeah. That movie was creepy. I mean, it was, I couldn't sleep for days after watching that. And like I said, I'm a huge horror fan, but I had problems watching that movie. Made me like not want to go into the mountains or to rent a cabin, because that's basically the whole setting. You know, this group of young kids, and they rent a cabin, and then all these creepy, crazy things start to happen after they read this book that they found in the basement. And it was creepy but extremely nasty. And they redid that movie, and that one was pretty good. I mean, it's extremely graphic, lots of blood and stuff. So if that really freaks you out, then I would not recommend watching that, because you will get creeped out. So now I'm going to go on and apply my eyeshadow. And I'm going to use, again, the Bloodlust palette from Jeffree Star. I really like this palette. Nice colors. Wouldn't say it's so much of an everyday look, but I mean, if you like to play around with colors, I mean, this palette would definitely be for you. Let's see, I'm going to go with the Claw Royal Pain. Let's go with some Pyrene. Yeah, I saw that in the movies. I saw that in the theater. Where's my brush? Yeah, I'm gonna take this one, Royal Pain. It's that color there. I saw the second one, or the remake of Evil Dead in the movie theater, and that was creepy, simply creepy. And they also came out with a sequel to The Evil Dead, and that came out also in the 80s. And that one was kind of funny. I think they came out with a few Evil Dead, part 1, 2, and 3. 2 and 3, and then they had the remake. And I think it was the third sequel, or the third sequel to The Evil Dead, I think it, or the second one. That one was kind of funny. They did it in a funny way. But if you like creepy, really creepy, like scary movies, then check out Evil Dead, because that is definitely a classic. It's a horror classic. Okay, so Royal Pen. All right, the next color, I think I'm gonna go with a Bleeding Heart. Let's do something kind of funky. This is a red color. It's a red palette, a red shadow. What is another one? It's another one I like. I think it's a classic. I gotta think about it. Think about it. What is another good classic? I gotta think about it. I'm trying to get all the classics out of the way. The classic movies, classic horrors. I'm sure it'll come to me. So I'm going to apply now my eyeliner from MAC. And again, this is my favorite photograph. I use this like every day. I usually put it at my bottom line. One moment. Okay, so I'm back. Okay, so I'm gonna apply my eyeliner here at the bottom. And I always use my beauty blender for applying my eyeliner so I don't touch it. I saw this one YouTuber do that, and it's really actually a good idea. Then you don't get the makeup on your fingers, or you have a print, you won't get a print. So I can't think of any more classics right now. I'm sure some will pop up, but let's move up in the decades. Another good movie I can highly recommend is Insidious. That's a really creepy movie. That came out, when did that movie come out? I guess in 2009 maybe, or 2010 it came out. Oh, it's really good. Creepy, creepy, creepy. Or The Ring. The Ring, that was really good. And The Grudge. Oh my goodness, The Grudge freaked me out. And also The Ring. I mean, they both kind of came out around the same time. Those movies came out in early 2000. Oh wow, and they were so good. Oh my gosh. Just absolutely creepy. The lady with the black hair in her face, and in The Ring, this there was like this curse. Like if you, what was it? If you watched this video, right? It was this video that was founded in a log cabin, and if you watched it, then you had like 3 days to live, and like most of the people who watched it died basically, and it was always happened to some young kid, but there were kids going around and yeah, and they were passing this video around, and somehow they were like dying off. Classic, but extremely creepy. Because at the end, when it was your time to die, then this ugly lady or ugly girl came out of the TV with her hair in the front of her face, and creepy. Now I can watch it. I don't have a problem watching it. But when I first watched it, I was just like totally freaked out. What's another one? Let's see. For my bottom line, I'm gonna apply. Let's see. My Urban Decay Naked brush. Yes, I'm gonna apply that for my bottom line for blending. I love this brush for blending. I'm going to use the color Dungeon. This dark one down here. It's like this dark plummy kind of color. Yeah, The Ring is creepy. The Grudge is even creepier. That had like 3 or 4, that came out 3 or 4 sequels to that. And they were all good, I must say. They were all good. Very good. They actually I believe they were supposed to remake that movie, The Grudge. There's supposed to be a whole new one that was supposed to come out. I don't know if it ever came out. I didn't hear anything, but that one was really good. This basically the movie takes place in Japan, and there's this house where this family had died. The father killed the mother and killed the child and the cat, and so basically the house is haunted, and anybody who goes or enters into this house is cursed and will die eventually. But the lady comes back, not the father and not the son, but the lady comes back, and she's also has this hair in front of her face. I mean, just totally creepy. I mean, when I watch that movie, I mean, I still get the creeps from it. So, I mean, if you like creepy, like scary, creepy movies, then I can recommend that. And that movie also came out, like I said, in 2004, 2005. And they're like, I believe like 4 or 5 parts to 4 or 5 sequels to The Grudge. Okay, so that's my spooky look. So now I'm gonna go back in with the Bleeding Heart. Or no, I'm gonna use the Bleeding Heart again. And I'm gonna touch up the top part of my eyes. Once again. Okay, so I'm gonna go on with my eyeliner. I'm not finished yet. I gotta have a little pow look at the end. Yeah, The Grudge. That was really good. First time I saw it, I mean, I looked at it by myself and I was creeped. I was really creeped out. No, I didn't. No, I watched it with my aunt and uncle. Yes, we had like we were like doing a double feature that night, and we watched The Grudge and the first Saw had come out. Oh my goodness, I was wow. That movie was so weird. The Saw, and it felt so real. It felt so surreal when I watched the Saw. I couldn't sleep for days. Saw and The Grudge. I mean, I watched those movies back to back. And my aunt and uncle, they were like not even bothered. I'm like, guys, aren't you freaked out from watching that? No. But Saw was that was the first one was creepy. Again, it's another one of those movies where they just like totally overdid it because they came out with so many different sequels to oh no, I totally messed up my wing. Did a little too much. It's okay, I can fix it up. Yeah, I mean, I believe it's like 7 parts or 6 parts to Saw. The first one is the best one because, like I said, after a while it gets old and played out because you kind of know what's gonna happen. But in the beginning, when it first came out, it was like I was like wowed. I was like, oh gosh, some people really have some imaginations. Ugh. Yeah, that movie was that was a wild movie. The second one wasn't from Saw, wasn't so good. Another good one is Identity. That one was good. Oh, Identity, yes. That was like a who did it type of movie. Basically, there were like 7 or 8 travelers, and somehow they all got bought to this one motel. Somehow wound up in this motel. They were traveling and got stuck at this motel, and then all of a sudden people were disappearing, and so it was just like, who did it type of thing. But the ending is creepy. I'm not gonna tell you what happened, but it's good. It's like, it's a mystery, like, okay, who's doing the killing? And then in that moment you think, oh, it's this person, but it wasn't that person, and they turn up to, it's good. It's really good, and the ending, it's a shock. So definitely a must see. Another good one is, let me think. Identity is a must see. Identity came out also early 2000. Okay, I'm gonna put my little pop, do my little pop look for my eyes. I'm gonna use Wet Jewel. I'm gonna put that in the crease and here on the ends, because I like my eyes to pop. Let's see, another good one. Next time I'm gonna have a list, and then I'm gonna go down the list, because I'm telling you, I've probably seen almost every horror movie that there is. I'm curious to know the movies that you guys have seen. Any movies which I haven't mentioned. Write them down in the comments, because I'm definitely going to go check it out. Or I might be able to tell you, oh, I've seen that already. Another classic, but it's not that, I don't know, I guess it is kind of creepy, is Rosemary's Baby. That's also another 70s classic movie. That was good. Creepy. Came out in the 70s. It's a classic. Surprised they haven't redone that movie yet. I'm sure they will. They're always redoing movies. Okay, so I'm done with my bloodlust. Oh, and another good classic is Bram Stoker's Dracula. That's not really scary, but it's almost like it's like a romance. It's a love story, and yeah, of course, it's a horror movie. It's about Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it's a love story, and it's that movie came out early 90s. I like that movie. I really like the music. I have I bought the cover to the music, or to the movie, because I found it to be so romantic but creepy. I don't know. It's a good one. Classic. So if you get a chance, check out Bram Stoker's Dracula. Here it is. I'm gonna now use my NARS Climax Extreme. Again, this is a sample. Bram Stoker Dracula. Yeah, kind of make you fall in love with the characters of Dracula. And this movie, Dracula, is a hottie. Who's the character? Who was the guy who played? I have to really think about it now. The character who played Dracula. It's a British actor. I can't think of his name. But you just kind of yeah, you kind of fell in love with him because he was just so cute. And I mean, he's not really like a handsome guy, but he was just like, he was just stylish and I don't know, kind of made you want to get bitten by him. I mean, and the one he fell in, who else was in it? The one he fell in love with was Wyona Ryder? Biona Ryder? Oh, probably messed her name up. But she played in that movie. She was the main character. She was the character that Dracula fell in love with, and what's the other guy? Oh, what's that guy's name? Oh, I can't think of that guy's name. He's also famous. He also played in that movie. But Bram Stoker Dracula, check it out. It's a classic. And then there's another good movie that I saw. Oh my gosh. It's an older movie and it came out in the 80s. Oh, that movie was creepy. Yes, that's another one of those creepy movies back then. It's about this one mother. She's a single mother. Okay, I'm gonna pop my Ardell lashes on. And this is in style number 778. These are Remy lashes. They're really good. Can highly recommend them. They always give you like this pale look. Yeah, so basically this single mom, she had three kids, I believe, and she seemed like an average mom, but for some reason, I don't remember how it all started, but she was being raped by a ghost every night. That was wild. Again, it's like one of those movies back in the 70s where you're thinking, wow, I mean, they were quite clever with the effects back then. Kind of like Exorcist, because they had scenes where you can see that somebody was touching her body. And it's like, oh, how did they do that? Very creepy. Yeah, she was being raped by this ghost. And eventually she wound up going to, because she thought she was going crazy, she wound up going to a specialist who knew about ghosts, and he wanted to film her, or film it actually happening. I don't remember the name of the movie, but when I find out the name, I will let you all know. Or if you know the name, please type it down or in the comments. Like I said, that movie also came out in the 70s. My nose is always running, so forgive me, guys. It's cold here in Germany. Yeah. Classic movie. Oh my gosh, that was so weird. I almost forgot about that movie. Next time I'm gonna write down all the movies, so I have a better view. I can go down the list, and I'll know the actors and actresses' names, because the main character in that one movie where the lady was being raped by the ghost, she was also in the movie Insidious. She played the mother from the guy who at the end of the movie was possessed. Wasn't he possessed in Insidious? Or no, he went in to get his son. You gotta check out the movie. But anyway, this lady who was being raped by the ghost also played in this movie, Insidious. She played the mother. So I'm basically removing all the glue from the neck from the previous day. Should always remove the glue before applying it, because you can reuse these guys. I usually reuse my lashes up to 3 or 4 months, and then afterwards I'll wash them, and if they still hold, then I'll use them or I chuck them away. But lifeline on lashes, I mean, if you take good care of them, you can keep them for a while. Let me think, another good movie. The good horror movie, I gotta think. Let's see. I'm sure after I do the video, then everything's gonna come to me. It's another good classic. Oh, what was that movie with Bruce Willis? Was it, that was a really good, that was a classic. That came out also early 2000. And, oh yeah, and that had like a shocker ending too. What was the name of that movie? Yeah, he was a psychologist, and he was helping a little boy out who was seeing dead bodies. Yes. I don't remember the name of that movie, though. I'm sure it'll come back later. I want to say Sight. That was a good classic movie. Because again, it had like one of those shocker endings. I love movies that have like shocking endings, like where you're like, huh? What was that? Well, it's one of those movies. One of those movies that have the shock ending. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my lashes, and I'm going to apply them with Duo. Yeah, that was a really good movie, but I don't remember the name of it. Once I find out, I'll let you guys know. But basically, like I said, he played a psychologist, and he was helping this little boy to understand why he was seeing dead bodies. And then again, like I said, it had a shock ending. So check it out. If you get a chance, or if you know the name, then write the name, or other than that, I will let you know in my next video who that was, or the name of the movie rather. Okay, so now I'm going to apply my lashes. And I'm going to use, no, I'm not going to use my blending, my beauty blender applier. I'm just going to be careful. I always stretch my eyes out and then I apply them. Doesn't want to go on. Yeah, that's a good classic from Bruce Willis. I remember another good one. I don't know who's a Quentin Tarantino fan. I love Quentin Tarantino. He is like, I think he's like king of the gore and shocker. I mean, his movies are just gory, period. So if you're like into gory and you don't mind like a bunch of guts flying all over the place and ugly scenes, then you would really get into Quentin Tarantino movies, because pretty much all his movies are like that. They're not really horror, but they're just like graphic. one of his classics, where it was also like it starts off one way and then you're like, okay. Then it turns into like horror is From Dusk Till Dawn. That was kind of funny in one sense, because it started off like like a typical Quentin Tarantino, lots of guts, and started off as like these two brothers, and they had kidnapped this one lady, and then Quentin Tarantino was also in the movie, and he wound up killing the lady, and then the brother was like, oh my gosh, why did you kill the lady? And then basically they kind of went on a killing spree. And then it changed over into like a horror movie. Like, I mean, it's horror anyway because they went on a killing spree, but I mean like a horror movie like in vampires. So also kind of crazy, funny movie. Also a must-see classic from Quentin Tarantino, Dusk Till Dawn. What was that? There was another Quentin Tarantino that was really good. What was the name of it? And it's with Kurt. What's his name? Is it Kurt Douglas? Yeah, Kurt Douglas. That's a good one. Oh gosh, what is the name of that movie? From Quentin Tarantino. Like I said, I gotta prepare better. I'm gonna come back with a list, and then I'll let you guys know. Then I'll be able to run down, and then I'll be able to tell you something about that movie, or at least recommend it. Because storytelling, that is just not my field, not really. But that movie's with Kurt Douglas. Oh, what was the name of that movie? There were like three episodes in that one movie. This one with Kurt Douglas, and this one with these three, yeah. One with Kurt Douglas where he's like he has this like classic, I think it was a Mustang, and basically he booby trapped it and would try to kill people with his, get people or get girls into the car, and then go on this daredevil ride, and then like crash up. But he actually wouldn't crash the car up, but he would drive so crazy and that he would kill his passenger, something like that. And then there was I think it was like three different movies. I think it was like three different movies, and or three different mini movies, or was it two mini movies in this one movie from Quentin Tarantino. I can't think of the name of it. Oh, that irritates me. That's a good one though. That's another movie. When I find out, I'll let you know. You know what? I'll be right back. I'm going to let you know now because that's going to really irritate me. 1 second. Okay, so now I know who it is. Yay! Okay, so the name of the movie is called Death Proof. Yes, it's a Quentin Tarantino classic, Death Proof. Must see. It's kind of weird, but, And there's two different movies, or two different movies in that movie. And then the other movie with Bruce Willis is called The Sixth Sense, where the little boy can see dead bodies. Okay, guys, so I got my eyelashes on. I got the little pop in the eyes. So last thing I'm going to do is apply my blush, which is from NARS. I'm going to apply my blush with my NARS blush brush, I call it. So another good movie is called Devil. That's a really weird movie as well. That movie came out a few years ago, say 2013 or 14 perhaps. No, maybe 2015. Oh, I gotta research that, check it out. But that's a good one. That's also like, you're watching that movie and you're thinking, okay, I wasn't expecting that. But it's basically about like 6 people, they get trapped in an elevator, and then for some reason weird things are happening and people are dropping off dead and they get killed, and every time somebody gets killed, there's a blackout in the elevator. And so it's a good one. Also kind of like, okay, I wasn't guessing that. Okay, guys, I'm applying I did apply my highlighter, and this is from Fenty Beauty. And this is in the color, it's a double color. Like a rose gold color. And the color is Ginger, Bingo, and Moscow Mule. Yeah, and they call it the Freestyle Highlighter Duo. So, that's that. And last but not least, I'm going to apply my lipstick. And again, I'm going to go with... Actually, I'm doing a lot of lip gloss. I think I'm going to go with something like a matte look. I'm going to go with Fuel 2.0, and this is from Urban Decay. It's like a nude pinky color. So, that's my look, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and wasn't too creeped out from my horror movie suggestions. Like I said, I'm a big horror movie fan, so if you haven't seen any of those movies or you're interested, please check it out. Urban Decay. It's like a nude pinky color. So, that's my look, guys. I hope you enjoyed yourselves and wasn't too creeped out from my horror movie suggestions. Like I said, I'm a big horror movie fan, so if you haven't seen any of those movies or you're interested, please check it out. I'll be back for more. Thanks for joining. Take care. Bye.